premier first pickable AP jungler.
And now you could potentially go for Senna Nautilus, you could go for an AP jungler and lock the Corki in later, because of course the Fearless draft, top Esports don't have to first pick the Corki if they want it, because OMG can't pick it at all. Pick it later in the draft, you don't have to do that. Pick up something that's actually contested, the Senna, but JackeyLove, absolutely disgustingly strong, one of the best Senna players in the entire world, and I feel like when you've got, you now need to probably take the Nautilus away, you need to take that, probably leaves you, what, on Corki second rotation for top Esports?
I suppose so. Maybe there's an argument for Ziggs if Senna's going to leave the bot lane. You could just wail away on those towers, take some early objectives. I'm a Ziggs gameplay enjoyer at the minute. I'm enjoying the angles that we do see for it.
How far we've come from like season 4 and 5 and 6 only wave clearing. Now he's actually quite a dynamic champion. The thing is, it's not really a Starry champion. He much prefers like the big scaling team fighting AD carry. So while this is, I actually think that would have been a good takeaway and a good combo up. I think when you've got the Jinx on the table for Starry, it makes a lot of sense. Become the pick.
It does feel like it makes sense, and just a powerful pick in of itself. That Jinx did get an ever so slight nerf on this match, but it's peanuts really, not a big one. Angel gonna go for a Yone. Not a pick you typically would think of Angel for, but certainly can do some damage to this Corki. This does feel like somewhat of a skill matchup where we have seen this go both ways if not played correctly. But Yone can have a massive impact there.
Yeah, I think we've seen... Yeah, we have definitely seen this go both ways. I think that most of the time the Yone is picked into the Corki, so the Yone player typically feels confident with it. Thing is, now we have lots of AD being dropped across the board from both teams. There's no Rumble to put magic damage on top side. We're going to see a lot of magic damage junglers taken off the table. Brand, probably going to see Zyra, probably see Maokai. OMG, if there is one good magic damage jungle left, will probably fourth pick it and then just force top Esports to kind of flex away from that, see if they can find some more magic damage elsewhere in the draft.
That's Zyra ban again, I love it. I love it. It has to come on out, it's so funny to me. We've seen so little of it, and yet everyone living in fear of the Plant Queen herself. I mean, we've got ban Ivern, right? We've got to get rid of all of the plants.
Man, they just hate agriculture. They just don't like growth. It's steel and metal and that's it.
Which is ironic, because they're so good at farming.
I know, right? They're really good at that. Karthus is left up on the table, so that's the easy one. So top Esports, they don't ban away the Karthus, arguably knowing it's going to come through for XiaoFang. This is the easy one. What have they got left then? They're probably going to have to go towards like an AD kind of bruiser champion instead, I guess, if the Karthus is locked in. I'm so surprised. I mean, I'm surprised at this, because top Esports can't play the Lilia, they could play the Karthus. If you'd locked in the Karthus, top Esports have no AP carry junglers left. That to me feels like a mistake from OMG.
Certainly giving it over, and Tian considering it as an option here. I mean, I don't see why not. Yeah, looks it in the end. You've already got a tank down the bot lane.
Is this just not... I mean, like, we're getting used to Fearless Draft now. I get that the Lilia is better for aggressive forward engage and stuff like that, but you could just stop them having any magic damage, you know?
This is the first time we see the Karthus from Tian, so maybe
he's really bad at it. Maybe they know.
I think that was perhaps a little short-sighted. I will say, this is Tian's 8th pick of the LPL so far, out of 8 games. Tian has not played the same champion twice this entire split so far. In now his 4th series, his 8th game, playing another unique champion.
I don't know. Tian, like, for those that only see the LPL finals and MSI, they're going to have such a different view of Tian from games like this, where for the last couple of series, Tian has been absolutely monstrous. He's going to have himself another great position again to make game-changing plays. I do think that OMG have themselves a good aggressive Jinx reset comp from go forwards with the Nautilus hook, with the K'Sante kind of blocking the front door as well if you're on the back foot. Throw a Jinx ult in and see if you can get a reset. But it does feel like both teams, when it comes to front to back, have an awful lot of damage to bring to bear. I think I would favor top Esports. I think the Ornn and the center are really easy to play, and then you've got the Karthus with the globals. So you have like 3 big, long-range, big AoE team fight ults to throw into the mix. And I feel like top Esports will be very happy to walk away with that.
certainly hope so, wouldn't you? Let's wait and see. Top Esports definitely got a lot of... I mean, it's the same combo we talked about earlier with the Corki, Karthus, and then Senna. Plenty of scaling to lean back on. But I don't know if they're just going to lean back on scaling. I feel like they're going to try and bring it to OMG in the way that Top Esports always seem to. Let's see if this Lilia pick works out for OMG after prioritizing that over the Karthus. Have to see how well XiaoFang is able to pilot that pick to try and make a difference here in the series. Top Esports currently 7-0 in games. This would be their 8th in a row and their 4th series won of the split if they can finish this one out in style. But OMG not going to go down without a fight. It's time to head into game number 2 and head on Summoner's Rift. Is that the Chinese commentators coming through the crowd mic, or is that
I think
some
it
dude
is.
on the stage with a microphone?
I was like, wow, that's someone who's got really loud voice.
He's just chatting to the crowd. Just...
I have some. There were some really funny memories of like individual fans in the crowd being really, really loud, and like you can pick them out for the crowd mic later on. You're like, huh. That person really likes this player in particular, don't they? It's kind of fun. I appreciate the passion.
It's like when we were sat in the Riot China office in 2020. Be trying to work in quiet, and it was COVID, so not many people would be in.
Right.
And you'd hear Dagda and Hysterics having a conversation from 3 rooms away. Big sets alongs on those guys. JackeyLove is moving in behind Angel in the mid lane. What a start to the game. Angel forced out, very aggressive. I mean, Creme's off to the races here.
Oh, he's so happy. And we did say that, like, this matchup in the mid lane is kind of a skill matchup. We've seen it go both ways. Getting this matchup tilted early before Yone gets himself real all-in pressure on the Corki, that's just nasty. Hook's going to miss. Ppgod goes melee range of them by missing that hook.
And JackeyLove immediately, you see him auto-Q Ppgod and then auto-Starry twice. So his whole goal in that trade is just to get those souls going. And again, 2 more souls, but might trade Meiko's life for it. Will survive, and remember, they've got that sustain to work with.
And again, for those of you who think that JackeyLove is like the aggressive AD carry, that is very true. He still manages to do that on the Senna. I think that Senna, compared to a couple of years ago, is a much more aggressive laning champion than they used to be. And if you get those those souls stacked up, the extra mists, you can get so powerful so quickly. One of the big complaints about a lot of global Senna players right now is how slow they are at stacking, particularly when lane swaps come through and things get thrown for a loop. JackeyLove always has his eye on that objective, and he does a really good job of getting good damage, lane pressure, while still getting that value. And that's going to be a big problem, because these team fights are going to be very much about front to back, and how much value the Jinx and the Senna are both going to put out. I think JackeyLove's going to get ahead of the curve.
Yeah, I think you might just be right on that one. We'll have to wait and see. OMG. I fear we're sort of counting them out here on the caster desk, because we've seen this matchup 3 games in the last 4 days. And they've all gone the way of
We've
Top
got the
Esports.
tape! We have so much tape!
Like, something has to change pretty dramatically for OMG to win this one, based on what we've seen. But they do have plenty of late game potential, and XiaoFang wants to influence this top lane to start us off, but not sure he'll get much of an angle. 369 playing with fire a little bit here, but I think he'll be okay. It's not that much damage on the other side. XiaoFang is going to commit to going for this one. I wonder if 369 is just trying to delay the crab take.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess he's just trying to maybe sort out his wave. It could get frozen on him. I didn't see the exact minion wave state kind of there. Tian on the other side is just kind of, again, helping crash it. He's not really looking to do much there. He's just looking to get himself for a reset. Good trade here from Angel on the other side, though. Misses the Q3, though. That potentially could have forced a flash.
Good little dodge there as JackeyLove and Meiko continue to trade. And every single time, keep your eyes on JackeyLove. Every single one of these trades, look at the way he switches targets to get the souls. They're not looking to win the 2v2. They're looking to just stack.
Yeah. And so, if you're playing Senna in solo queue and you're a Senna main, you're expecting about 100 souls in 20 minutes. In pro, it's more like 21 minutes or so, because you have to do things like a support when you have someone else kind of farming in your lane. You're not just sitting in lane, you're roaming about with your jungle a bit more. So you're expecting about 21 minutes or so. So just keep an eye on that as that kind of goes up to that point. And again, that's the easiest timestamp to really check in on that. He's doing fine so far, again, getting a load of those double taps, and that'll really influence the rest of this game. We need to see if OMG can get something out of this bot lane, get some summoners, get a kill. This is a good start.
On to Meiko, that's some big damage and forcing the flash out. And once again, JackeyLove just hits both of them twice to get those souls going. Steps forward, gets another one on the back of that Q. And now trying to look juicy because here comes Tian, and Starry is basically face-checked him, hit by JackeyLove's root as well. That's the cleanse force and the flash. Flash from Tian, and they'll finish the job just about. JackeyLove with first blood.
What is it with today and like AP farming junglers getting ganks? 369, he just flashed. I think he's dead.
Yeah, this is an awkward position to be in. Does he have a shield just in time? It's not enough. XiaoFang slides in to finish the job.
Okay, I don't know why he's there. I'm going to be blunt about that one. You are ganking bot side. We have 3 people there. You know your jungler's not coming to help. Creme also didn't have any ability to run from mid lane. Shouldn't be there, buddy. So 369, great last game on the Mordekaiser. Not an awesome start on the Skada.
Bit of a weird one. Bit of a weird one.
I feel like it's a very catch-all phrase, which is we use that quite a lot in the LPL, and we're going to continue using it a lot because it's a very good descriptor.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird ones in the LPL. Ppgod, though, wants to gank Creme in the mid lane. Valkyrie available. He's trying to predict the use of the W, but Creme, nerves of steel.
This man's been forged on the international stage now. We do have Topius once again contesting early objectives. They love to do this. Tian walking up, not level 6 just yet.
Tian just wants to try and smite the grub, does get one for himself as Angel chucked very low. JackeyLove forced away but does survive, and now 369 slams him into the wall that then Meiko uses to find a knock-up. It's 2 kills to Top Esports in trade of 2 grubs.
Oh man, Top Esports. Again, this team is actually quite greedy at contesting for early objectives. Most teams in the LPL would trade early Dragon for early grubs. Not Top Esports. This is what happened. He gets caught on a recall. Fair play to him. He gets caught out there. Flash in to stop that W coming off as well, the X-Styles impact. And yeah, takes a couple of summoners, but they do take down that Scorpion. Doesn't mean they don't have those flashes for the fight just after that. We're going to get a replay of that afterwards. This is going to be that 1 kill. That was an easy one. Again, we said they were cross-mapping at that point. We won't see the fight there. We've got another fight on screen instead.
Oh, JackeyLove's caught. He used his flash and his cleanse in the last play as well. Should go down here. The movement speed.
Oh,
what?
no way.
He actually gets out of that? Look at his face. He's laughing.
Well, you look at this. He has tier 2 boots already. He has Swifties, and he got the slow from the Q, and the movement speed from the E. This dude plays on the edge on the center. Even in the last fight around the grubs, by the way, he face-tanked the Nautilus hook into the Yone combo to make sure that Tian could have a clean fight. This guy, he still somehow makes Senna look like a frontline champion, like all of the other AD carries he does. He is a very unique player.
Yeah, he is. He gets away with a lot. He also has spent years not getting away with a lot to get to the point where he knows what he can get away with. Definitely a player that has done his fair share of limit testing. Gets hooked in and then just manages to somehow get out of that one. So
also got a soul as well, you know, the important stuff.
Worth. So, I mean, it didn't even cost him. It actually is worth, because it didn't cost him a summoner spell, because he didn't have any to use. Probably would have cost him. Do you know, I bet he would have flashed if he'd had it.
It's that one fairly odd parents meme. Here's where I put my flash. If I had one! He uses that very liberally, but again, we will keep track of that because all it takes, and this is often the case with JackeyLove, well, no, less so in the last year or 2 years now at this point. That's actually not fair. I'm going to chastise myself. Normally, in the past, you say, oh, but all he has to do is overstep once and they can be back in the game. He's been really good at playing on the edge. OMG will have to force him to step over the edge at some point. They've really been trying. I think they actually have the good angles they've been looking for. Problem is, every time you slip up against a team like this, which has a very similar composition, front to back, tank front line, long-range back line, you need to make sure you're staying even in gold and active items. If you're losing these early game fights and giving up some of these bits of gold, the game gets harder because functionally you and the enemy team do exactly the same thing at a lot of the times.
Really nice trading in the mid lane from Creme there. Kind of calling Angel's bluff, just stepping away while he wants to stack the passive up there or the split soul. Oh, Rocket!
He's no well turtle.
Entirely. Yeah. I will say quickly as well, Tian, 3 stacks on a Dark Steel. It's always worth just quickly mentioning
Absolutely.
the Dark Steel in the inventory, especially when it's on a Karthus.
Yeah, I think in this kind of game too, I mean, there is some chance that you do get zoned out as the Karthus, or you die as the first person into the play. Might see Creme though, he's churning up huge damage. Remember, they have Karthus ult now, they can finish off any of these big trades.
Yeah. But I do just want to, hang on, no time. All out in the top side, 369. Get chased down by Hery here. And Hery in a good spot. Oh, but the Karthus ult, and the Railgun on top! 369 sets it up and finishes it off.
There is always a bigger fish, and this time it's Tian in the jungle. It feels like, again, OMG just don't account for the extras coming in from the globals. The Senna Karthus both on target. Well, Karthus doesn't need really any aiming for that one, but JackeyLove zeroes in on the target. And OMG, they needed to be so careful about the big trades. There was every chance those globals would come in.
And now Starry getting comboed by Meiko. We've seen Orns get solo kills onto AD carries very recently in the LPL, so you can't ever count that potential option out.
Meiko solo killed APA on Aurelion Sol as well in MSI. Just throwing that one in there. It feels like Meiko, of all of the Ornn support players, is the bloodthirsty one. This guy was flashing under turret to get himself kills. Very happy to do that one. Hery bluntly just forgets that there are other ultimates in play. I get you are seeing a very low mana and not great kind of item scan at this point in the game. You think you have an angle, but great Ixtal's impact into the ultimate from Karthus as well. Massively turns around. I just don't think they told... Oh,
Meiko's dead. Ppgod will survive. Yeah, great combo of the stun and then JackeyLove ults as the stun hits to guarantee the damage coming out from the railgun there. Nice little combo for top esports, and honestly, like, I feel like this is the kind of thing that really separates the top teams in the LPL from the rest of the group, is like the forethought that, you know, we've got this composition with global ultimates and actually setting up plays using those global ultimates, not just reactively ulting, but actually setting up for a play.
And I think top esports, again, with the addition of Maokai to the coaching staff, even with someone like Xie as well coming in to kind of like role support the mid lane of Creme coming in as a positional coach, I think it's really helped the team's overall understanding, particularly in early game, of the teams that have played very early game focus so far in the LPL. I think top esports have looked like the best so far in groups. That might not stay up until the groups later on. Teams tend to ramp up. Let's see, it was just a 1v3 dive. Tries to clear out that boss side. Did have the spellbook. Did he use the barrier from the spellbook there? I think he might have done just at the end.
I think he just did then, yeah.
Yeah, it was easy enough kill though. Clears out the wave, just a bit of a cross map.
It's a nice punish from OMG. Good to see them still getting something on the map here. 2,000 gold lead for top esports. And once again, the group situation, very top esports favored. The dragon situation, top esports favored. You mentioned it earlier, this is not a team that likes to trade those objectives. They just like to have all of them.
And they do actually, on the whole, tend to get them right now. Now, of course, they are the top dog in this group. They came in as the Pool 1 team. They haven't played up against our other presumed top teams from the LPL, and they might get punished for this, maybe against some harder opposition. But if they can keep this up and genuinely contest early game for both objectives, both sides of the map, we'll see how much they can get off of that. There's going to be a slow hit. That's going to be Chomper's landing.
Yeah, Meiko W to deny the hook there. Depth charge going to come on through shield for Meiko. XiaoFang goes forward, rocket finishes, and that's all she wrote. Tian can't arrive in time. Nice play from OMG.
And that's a really good timing window to do that. Creme was hit by the small seed in mid lane too, but just a bit too far pushed up. And we did say that top esports had done a really good job of setting up for using their big ultimates. Karthus wasn't quite in time for that one. Creme, though, knowing that there's no real roam coming towards him, will continue to... Oh my word, Creme's very far ahead in mid lane. We haven't even talked about that. Cashed in the Cull. Load of pressure here. This was meant to be a counter pick matchup in mid lane, by the way.
How is he like 1,500 gold up individually?
I'm trying to figure that out. Plates, Cull, kill. That's still a lot. Go back to replay on bot side though.
Too much, but
yeah, I mean this is just a really good use of tools in this bot side. They were too pushed up. They have Karthus on the same side of the map, so they think they're on the strong side. Karthus can't get there in time though, so it's kind of a bit of a false positive in terms of that. Kind of that side. But yeah, he's only 10 CS ahead of mid lane. More important things. How has this mid lane lead happened?
You've got 2 plates, which is like 250 gold. You've got a Cull,
a little bit more than
gold.
that nowadays.
You've got kill and an assist.
But even then,
10 CS lead. I mean, I guess it's just lots of small...
Oh,
that
first
still
strike
just
as well.
feels like
And he
too
has
much
first strike.
gold.
He's taken the
Oh,
first strike, so that'll help with it too. Yeah, so he's been
Like,
proccing
it's
that on
just
corner.
lots and lots of small leads that are accumulating into an absolutely massive lead.
Yeah, we see Halo Blades, we see, I mean, that's going to be something. I don't think much is going to happen here. There's no gank for his top side, but yeah, I mean, Creme, I was wondering what was going to... Okay, no, it is a big trade top side.
369 going to actually go for the ultimate. Oh, he's not. He's ignoring the tower. And Requiem comes out once again. 369 is not having any of this. I love these Skarner setups.
So do I. And remember, when it came to pick 4 in the draft, where OMG could have taken the Karthus and Top Esports couldn't have taken the Lilium, they wouldn't have had one of these AP carry junglers for Tian. I think they'll be thinking that's a mistake now. We called it a mistake at the time. I think it's quite obvious it is that now. OMG maybe kind of forgetting some of the ins and outs of the Fearless drafts, and Tian, I mean, he's on track towards, bluntly, another MVP if this game continues the same way, and that's not to write OMG off. This is just kind of showing the real prowess of Top Esports right now. When they have leads, they are so strong. They haven't dropped a game yet so far. We'll see if OMG can maybe get something towards bot side. He's going to teleport out, so it's going to be tower, and that's it.
The Swill Seed spots him so they can see that he has dipped out of dodge. That will be a bot lane tier 1 tower, but it's in trade of 2 towers on that top side. And not great for the side of OMG, and actually a bit of pressure on this mid lane tier 1 as well. I don't know if they'll be able to finish that one, but they'll certainly try. XiaoFang in the area, but 280 carries hitting on the tower, and Meiko just blocking XiaoFang so he can't get a Swill Seed. It is going to be a tier 1 in the mid lane as well. Top Esports, they're just... Their objective game is so far beyond OMG's.
They use the Herald top lane as well. Almost every Herald you'll see right now is used mid lane. Well, okay, in LPL sometimes it's used for taxi driving too. But on the whole, mid lane is where you put Herald to destroy towers, because taking mid lane tier 1 is quite hard. Ever since the change away from the early Herald where you could drop 2 Heralds, both Shelly and Shirley, into that mid lane outer, you could kill that tower easily. You can't do that as well now, but they dropped it top lane anyway, got the top lane in a turret, forced mid lane anyway, got that in. Top Esports are so far ahead of the game right now, they might lose 369 on bot side, but Swell Seed missing makes that unlikely now. And again, they're just so far ahead of OMG in the macro game.
This is, oh, he's got 520 gold first strike.
That's your gold lead.
Minutes. He's got 520 gold for first strike. Do you know, when we were talking about it before, I'd seen the Triforce and I kind of just, oh, Angel. He's going to have to ult. Will get himself out to safety. I'm not sure JackeyLove has missed a route this game, honestly. Seems to just be homing. But yeah, I saw the Triforce and I instantly thought it would be Fleet. We've seen a lot of Fleet Corki with the Triforce. I've got to say, I much prefer the first strike.
He just got another first strike there too, for those that care. You know, he's going to be slightly more than 500 now. I mean, we've seen what? Fleet, we've seen Halo Blades. I've actually not seen this much at all, but I'm liking it if you get the free lane. I mean, it helped that JackeyLove, you know, ganked him at level 1, but I'm liking it right now.
Yeah, we've seen like a smattering of it. There's been the occasional, but I felt like it's not felt like the mainstay right now, but I feel like it will become the mainstay if this is what it looks like on average. 1,500 gold lead mid. That feels pretty good for Creme. Overall, things are looking hunky-dory for the side of Top Esports. I want to go back to a conversation we were having before of this Dark Seal for Tian. I wasn't sure if we were going to have a little fight over the blue buff then. Dark Seal for Tian, though. Obviously, we see a lot of Dark Seal on AP carries, like, makes sense, a very high-value item. But typically, the layman's view of Karthus is go in,
you die
big boom, die, ult, right? Doesn't really work if you go for a Dark Seal.
He's probably just going to ult now. Yeah, I think he's just going to ult. He's probably going to get himself a load more stacks. He's in his own jungle, by the way. Doesn't get the kill, but again, that's the threat. All of these ults coming in from Top Esports mean that it's so easy for them to walk forwards. I mean, this might be a death here. That's a bad recall.
Or is it? He's playing Skarner! Just rolls away. There is no such thing as a bad recall when you're playing Skarner.
Dude, he died in the one death of the game to a bad recall earlier, by the way.
We don't talk about that.
Right, okay. He's, yeah, no bad recalls. Besides that.
Fantastic.
The hilarious thing there is that we saw the replay of Starry stopping Tian's back with one ult, and then in live we saw another one, so it was like some weird case of a double ult jinx. He's really been trying to get something from this Jinx, and we did say, you know, maybe they could have gone towards the Ziggs for Starry. He's just much more of a Jinx player. He does have himself a point of power in this game. I'm going to find it quite hard to believe he'll be able to influence the game in the time span he really wants to, though. This is going to be the problem there. Starry, by the time he comes online with realistically 3 items with an inf-edge, he's stopping off with the Lord Dominus Regards to kill the front line. I feel like top esports will have got them to the point where they're forcing Baron against them, they're forcing him across the map. He's going to have to buy a lot of time, or his team's going to have to buy time for him, really, to get good value out of this.
Angel being charged at by 369. Every other time we've seen this, immediately ults have flown across the map. Angel could be in serious danger, even though that's only a Skarner. Don't let that fool you. Hery let that fool him twice.
True. Right, Dragon's up. We've got OMG trying to go through this choke point. They don't want to get cut off at the pass here. Meiko standing in front. Watch out for those big ultimates again. If they take a front to back, the Orn ult's going to be huge.
TP's coming in, but the Drake's already taken, and now Call of the Forge got across the team as well, but they didn't really get much purchase. Stun against the wall, Will. And then the pincers come on in. XiaoFang turns golden, but there's no way out of that one. A couple more stacks for Tian as he continues to rampage through this game.
And, you know, OMG, they do their best to retreat through different paths, so the Orn ult doesn't get that value we were just saying could have happened. But, I mean, the sad thing at the end of the day is that they just spectate Dragon going down. Again, it's Safari League of Legends, where if you look out of your left window, you'll see a Dragon dying to top esports, and they don't do anything about it, and they still lose one on the retreat, despite the fact that it could have been a much worse fight. This is a huge net negative. They don't get anything back for it.
To be fair, if it is Safari League of Legends, they would have some serious legal problems if they did anything about it. Angel gets flashed away by JackeyLove and then CC'd. Oh, how did that not work? It looked so good. And now Hery left to try and flee. Requiem from the skies. It's another for Tian and 10 stacks on top.
Oh, that library card for the eventual... Well, we might even see a rare Magi on this card. It's kind of rare to see it because he normally just dies too much in the big late game fights. Tian doesn't care about that. He's not going to be using his passive this game. And we did say OMG giving the early gold lead over to a top esports team that looks so good at snowballing, so good at setup. It was going to be dangerous because the team compositions do very similar things. They have the tanky front line. They're playing front to back with AP carry junglers and a little bit of dive threat from the rest of the team put in across it. And it feels like OMG, they try and play for the flank when they know some of those cooldowns are down, but it's so hard to group up when you've been forced back so hard. Great response from 369 to protect his AD's carry. He's one of the best peeling top laners in the whole history of League of Legends, and that's not an understatement. He absolutely saves JackeyLove's life there. And Starry goes down from incidental damage on the other side of it.
There must have been a single frame between JackeyLove flashing and Angel's ult going through there. That couldn't have been any closer. But I just want to quickly point out while we've got it on the scoreboard, Tian 4-0-4, counterplay not found. Creme found on the top side though. He's getting some good damage down onto Angel, flashes himself. Angel chases it over the wall and finally gets an ult to stick.
Alright, so Creme can't quite match the 1v3 of 369 from game 1, but he does get himself decent amount of damage down before he falls. It's a good damage check to see how powerful he is. Good kill by OMG on the side lanes, though. It's nice for them to just be able to stop some of the setup coming in from top esports. Also, while they didn't have all of the globals available, they didn't have the Karthus ult. They did have the center ult, I think, just off a cooldown, but wasn't pulled through just in time. Sadly, though, they commit themselves very hard there, and there is actually a genuine objective in this game to get farm onto the Karthus. He gets himself a Raptors camp while OMG are resetting off of the back of that last play, and we know how strong this guy is already.
Ppgod actually just flashes straight onto Tian to try and get this damage down, but he's just going to die. And in the meantime, Starry has just been obliterated by an Orn and a Skarner. Tian still going somehow. The stacks! No, the stacks! XiaoFang takes them, but the Requiem still comes through anyway. XiaoFang said packing Ppgod is not too low. He's not too low. He's okay.
Alrighty, so they kill themselves. Creme in top side. And then Tian and JackeyLove on bot side. XiaoFang, he's been retreating for a while, but Skarner doesn't like the thought of that. Probably going to close this down, even with the move speed coming through.
Let's see. The watch out, eat gets him out to safety. XiaoFang walking
All right,
away.
fair play.
3 seconds till JackeyLove. He's got his railgun available. Surely takes the shot. The observers thought it was going to happen too. I can't believe he didn't take the shot.
You thought it, the spectators thought it, maybe it was like, maybe not. He's going to get himself back to base plate and maybe get himself enough healing. Couldn't quite get that kill. Anyway, a minute till Dragon. Got ourselves Baron spawned as well. Tian, with the amount of gold he's had throughout this game, very close to a death cap. Surely getting that within the next minute or two. Even though OMG get themselves a couple of kills over the last phase of play, haven't really managed to get deep vision in or great wave push into getting themselves good entrance into one of these objectives. Tian still farming up the storm. So OMG, they break a momentary amount of pressure, but they can't quite get the chokehold they need to maybe force Top Esports into a bad objective setup, which could genuinely get them a good team fight win.
And we've got a fun scoreboard today as well. We had 404 for Tian. We've got Spartan 117, JackeyLove, the Master Chief, signing in from the bottom lane. But Baron on the cards now.
It's like, sir, permission to leave the Baron pit. What, to give the enemy team comp back their railgun? He's going to be firing across the map. We'll see how well he flies for a brick.
Let's see. OMG, they're going to need a Scarab at this rate if they want any chance at a fight. Starry, knocked up railgun in. Look at the long-range obliteration from
5 seconds on Carthus.
Esports. And Starry, he's trying to walk away with his life. The Requiem, 3, 2, 1, and there we go. See you later, Starry.
And it's the Prophet laser coming from the sky. It really wasn't fair. OMG, they didn't get that setup around the objectives even after those kills. They got close to it. Credit to them for getting a couple of kills against the run of play. But we said it was going to be difficult. Top Esports, they have themselves a really good gold lead, and they've been playing out so excellently when they're ahead. They do give up a dragon. OMG will be able to claim themselves an Infernal Dragon and stop Soul Point coming through from Top Esports. But as you saw, a whole host of items being fired up on the left-hand side of your screen from those resets. Top Esports, they just got themselves a whole host of gold and a Baron to push in with the items they just bought.
This is looking close to over right now. And I just want to point out, on the theme of Halo, the little first strike orb, not that different to the Guilty Spark.
3 for 3 Guilty Spark?
Yeah, if you ask me, looks pretty similar. Maybe it's only pretending to be an ally. Oh, spoilers!
Oh no, wow. Incredible.
Yeah, look, I mean,
this one's not a spoiler. We'll save you the trouble for this one. It's just everyone pressing their ultimate buttons and all of the, again, the orbital artillery. We saw it just ticking down the card slot, 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Starry just couldn't get the recall in time and couldn't get that heal off. Starry picked the Jinx in to try and get himself a, a good team fight carry. The team fights have just not been anything close to stable from OMG. They got too far behind too early, and Top Esports, this has been a clean as heck series from them.
It really has. I'm going to be honest, it's not really felt like OMG have had any way in throughout this series. Ppgod gets a hook, but here comes 369 from the side, just going to deny entry. And Angel goes in alone once more. The rest of the team not allowed in. The lasers fly. That's half a Starry's health. That's ridiculous. Double for Creme as they look for more as well. Meiko flashing to try and find kills. That's how you know they're confident. They don't even need a second in him. They're just going to try and end the game. Top Esports, the last time they played OMG, they won both games, but it felt a little bit dicey, it felt a little bit messy. This time around, it is clean as hell. Tian still surviving, I believe, 1 death all game long as Jackie grabs himself a double. Make it 2! He doubles his deaths as the game ends.
I don't think he'll care about that one. He has sent Top Esports on a great journey towards the Nexus, and OMG have been left in the ashes, glassed by the ultimates of Top Esports time after time. It was not close. This series wasn't close. They played each other on Wednesday. Even then was closer in that 2-0. There were some scrappy fights, and OMG, credit to them for, again, turning up to brawl, but I just think that Top Esports are ahead in the objectives game. They're ahead on an individual play. They were humbled at MSI, but they are back rolling into gear, back regionally.
Absolute domestic domination. 8 games, 8 wins. 4 series, 4 wins. Flawless from Top Esports so far. And Tian, a different jungler in every single one of those games. 8 champions so far this